Hey, what's up? It's Kit time for another video. We're going to be adding to our jig rigging library, and for this particular one, we're actually doing the spin rider deep from the Nature Boys. Alrighty, so very good jig. This is 360 grams, so I could still work it using my Hots Max 350. The cadence, of course, is going to be kind of slower because you're at the apex or just past the capacity of the rod. However, this would be a very good weight to use on the deep liner number 7, which has a maximum of 500 grams. So when you're exploring deeper parts, always worth noting that it could be better if you have these glowing dots at least. Okay, I'm not saying that you should paint the whole thing glow, but having these dots, stripes or whatnot is an advantage, because when you're that deep, you're kind of simulating squid, because there's going to be life that has some sort of bioluminescence at that depth. So, you know, simulating something like that would be great. Makes it kind of alien to your eyes, but at the end of the day, it's kind of natural when it's down there. So, you know, just that. Also, a lot of things to consider when you're down deep. You know that with your braid, if there's a bit of stretch, and going deeper obviously will get more stretch. So there's a bit of a delay. One of the things that you need to really think about when you're there is penetration power. And in that regard, these things are actually what I chose to go with, because they're a bit on the thick end when it comes to the steel that's used, or wire to be more precise, but these present a very good way for you to literally hook something without setting the hook. The penetration power on these things actually way up there. All right, so we're gonna use 2 double hooks for this particular one. So let's go ahead and do it. All right. I'm also very happy that I've been able to kind of address the crashing issue that we had on the computer. So for this particular one, you know, kind of happy that we're able to do this. All right, so let's do this. Zoom in a little bit so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing here, and then focus on the hook. So I think this is something that there you go. Way better if I zoom in, or what do you call this? Actually, bear with me here. I'm trying to focus everything for you guys. There we go. Okay, so the cord that we're gonna be using is this one. It's I forget which brand this is, but I think this is one of the Chinese ones. All right, it has a PE core, as you can see right there, the white stuff. And what we're gonna do is we are going to take the length there, double it up, get some allowance in, cut it. All right, so I'm just gonna rig this, and what I am going to do is actually rig it very simply. You know, we're doing the Shimano style. Okay, no, nothing fancy here. Now the cord that we're using has a PE core, but we need this to be with a fluorocarbon core so that it's a bit springy. So all we do is take the core out, and then we put in the fluorocarbon core. I need my other pair of glasses for this. Whoa, way better. Okay, so insert, No drama here. Actually, very, very easy. All we have to do is just wait. Let me cut this flush. Okay, just cut this flush. That way, it's easy to insert. And that's it. Now, the trick that I always use with these cords, quite simple, you know. Okay, so towards the other end right there, and then we just form a knot, right, towards the end, and then we tighten that, and that's pretty much your end of the cord right there. Okay, so you can see how I'm tightening it. It's actually quite straightforward, but when you tighten it, it locks in the fluorocarbon core, okay, and prevents movement on this end right here, which you cut again long. That way you have an overhang, and the trick here is to actually stretch this out, and what happens is that that kind of flattens and thins it out. Okay, and once you have that, you can then do another square knot right there. Okay, and wrap around, tighten like so, tighten like that, and then you have your length right there. That is perfect for the tying. Now, obviously what's going to happen is you're going to have to cut a little bit of it, including the cord. Okay, and after that, what you will do is burn it off, or actually form a ball so that that doesn't move. Same thing with this. A sharp knife helps a lot. And as you can see here, I'm actually using the part that's new. Okay, now this blade is going to get replaced soon. So now that you have that, you take your lighter and then burn. That basically locks things in place. Okay, same thing here. Blue flame works better. Okay, I stopped smoking, so I don't have the fancy lighters anymore. Okay, so you have that, and then it's springy because it has a fluorocarbon core. That was 13 pounds, but you could put as much as 15 in one of these. All right, now another thing that you should consider doing before anything else is putting on your solid rings. Okay, so you could either do it before or you could do it after. It doesn't really matter, but for this particular one, I'm going to do it so that you can see. Okay, so together right here. Okay, there's different ways of doing this, and we're just doing this method right now. Okay, it could be that you're putting both hooks before you're putting the solid ring, but right now we're doing this so that I can show you, okay, this method, and then on the second one we'll do another. All right, so for those guys that have been in this channel watching these videos that I make for a long time, this is gonna look repetitive. All right, so basically two ends right there. Hold on, let me actually take this out so you guys can see this clearly. Okay, so there, so these two ends, okay, aligned, okay, aligned, and then loop here, you take that, pass it through. Okay, now that that's through, take that, twist it, okay, either counterclockwise or clockwise, it's up to you, doesn't really matter. Okay, there we go. So over. Then when you kind of shuffle this around, what happens is that you'll find that it forms an X right there. Okay, and then you slowly, okay, hold on, let me do this properly so you guys can see, especially for those guys that are kind of new to this channel. All right, so there, what happens is it will turn, and what you want is for this to actually, see there, hold on, might be wrong here. All right, take two. Okay, so make sure that these ends are equal in length. Okay, so you have that. Okay, and then see, equal in length, because you want both hooks to be the same length. You're gonna have issues if well, not really, but you know, having them together at the same length for some configurations actually works better for you. All right, so there you have that. Now, just to give you an illustration of how straight this should be, okay, so those two right there, side by side, okay, there, okay, see that, that's as clear as day right there. Now you fold this, so you have that, okay, then you twist and then go over. Okay, now what you do is make sure that all of those loops that you formed go all the way to the back right there. And what will happen is you'll see that there's an X formed right there. Okay, and when you pull tight, okay, you have these ends, they should be equal, and then form a loop. The loop goes over like so, and a lot of people, they just secure it like that. The problem is if you do that, it tends to slip. So what we do is add another twist, and all you do is take one side, twist it, and then go over. Okay, the most important thing here is that you take all the tag end and work it so that it goes towards the end like that. I'm gonna take this so that you see exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, so you can see that an X is formed, and what you want is for that X to actually, there, okay, go like that, and that's when you tighten. Now the easiest way to tighten this equally is to take flat nose pliers, okay, and then you can see there, okay, so one is slightly longer, and then we'll pull until they're equal, pull. Okay, now that they're equal, what you do is just grip and then pull tight like so, then you'll see that they're actually the same length, and that's what you want. See, once this is formed correctly, you'll find that there's an X there. Okay, just like that. Now comes the simple part, just tying onto your hook. Okay, now with this type of hook, since it's a spade head, very important thing is to actually have a base of thread right there. And this base of thread makes it so your hook will not slip, or your wrappings will not slip actually. Now remember that this braid will form a surface for your cord to hold. If it's just the steel, there's a chance that it will slip. So what you want is to have that okay, so you can back up right there. You can see that I kind of messed up. And when you mess up, guess what? You could always back up. Okay. Now, normally what happens here is that if there's a barb, it should be somewhere there. So I'm just gonna wrap. For this particular one, I want this to be a bit on the inside there. A few more wraps. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Now, I'm gonna take this and you look at the position. Okay. And it should be like that there. So you can see that I'm actually positioning it so that it will sit the way I want it to sit, right? Now I want that knot just at the edge of the wrappings right there. So I'm going to do that, do 2, okay, and then I'll adjust by pulling on the knot. That way I know that it's seated at the very end, just at the base of the knot. So now I'm going to tighten. Okay, so those wraps are going to kind of lock in. Okay, now I'm just gonna spiral, and these spirals are tight, just like that. Okay, now at this point you could use super glue if there's a caveat there. If you are not confident of your wraps, you can use super glue. I have to say though, I am, so I'm not going to put super glue. But if you are doubting your wraps, again, it's good to have super glue there. Okay, then I will wrap spirals going in, just so I will reach the back again. But most of the wraps that I'm making there, okay, let me actually position you guys better so that you can see. All right, so there. Now I'm gonna zoom in a bit more so you guys can see exactly what's happening here. Okay, there we go. So that's as far as I could go, but you could see that my wraps are actually holding everything in place, and like that guy is not moving. Okay, so now I'm gonna do like my wraps that will cover the whole thing, and you can take your time. Okay, very important. If you are not doing this to sell, you're doing this for yourself, you can take the time, okay, to make each wrap touching turns, as we call it in fly tying. And you can see that when I'm wrapping, okay, hold on, you know what, let me, there we go, that way it's not gonna go in and out of focus. Now when I'm tying, you'll see that the color of my thread changes. Okay, it kind of darkens, and what that is, it's like it, when you're tightening braid, it becomes sort of translucent. Okay, so it's important here to actually have like really good binding, and this is how Shimano does the OSHA assist hooks. Okay, so as you can see there, I am wrapping really tight. I'm holding my bobbin holder super tight, and I am pushing this to give me leverage. What's important here is having consistent tension on your wraps. And the word of warning, be very careful not to touch that point, because as soon as you do, it'll cut. Okay, I am going slow for you guys. Okay, so just like that. Okay. Make it as tidy as you can. You're not in a race, okay? What you want is to have consistently good binds. And guess what? There's no way around that. It is practice, practice, practice. Okay, now that's tight. We'll go again on the way back. So this is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the second. And if you have gaps, make sure to actually get them. Okay, so touching turns. Okay, now when you're doing this, you see that? I'm just gonna go boom. Okay, like that. Move. That's how you do it. And again, still keeping tension. And what you want is to look at your work here and see if you've missed something. Then guess what? Go over that on your last trip. Okay, so this is pretty much the last. We're gonna go. Just going forward. Always wrap forward. Okay. You have to be careful not to hit the camera. All right, my joints are aching. Holy crap. Whew. All right, so now we do our half hitches, or in my case, I actually I'm doing what's called a whip finish. This is a common knot in fly tying. You don't have to use this. Okay, so you see how tight I was applying pressure there. Broke the thread, and that's good. Okay, I'm just gonna go around and do another one just to satisfy my OCD, but one is actually good enough. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a wrap there. Cut this off, then I'll do another one of those whip knots, and I usually do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there we go. And then bang, just like that. Okay, now one of the things I do is actually take tape, and when I tie the other hook, I take tape and tape up the other hook, because boy, I've had accidents. You know what I mean? I have had accidents. I don't wanna stab myself here. So I tape this up. Okay, just like that. Once around is enough actually. Okay. Now, when you're tying this also, you have to realize that it's very difficult if this is hanging out like that. So your turns are going to be kind of hampered. So what I do is I just tape that up as well, like that. Just to keep things tidy. All right, so just like that. Okay, there. That way, I'm just dealing with this hanging. Now, same thing with the other one here. What we're gonna do is make a thread base. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this. And as with the other one, I'm going to position it just like there, right there. Okay. You have this. Okay. 2 wraps. Okay. 2 wraps will actually position it there. Okay. And then I'll lift this to ensure that it's at the position that I want. Okay. Then I'm going to pull this down, and that's basically tightening it. There we go. So now that that's pegged, what I will do is I will spiral out, and that's going to be basically positioning it to the position where it's going to be its final position. Okay, all of these are very tight wraps. Okay, and then when I reach the end, I'm gonna loop like so. This came off. I'm gonna have to fix this. Okay, let's do it like that. There we go. That's not going anywhere. Now, after you wrap, you spiral back. Okay. And once you spiral back, you'll see that it's actually already kind of positioning everything, right? Now, as with that one earlier, we will wrap, and we'll wrap well. That initial wrap is basically full on touching turns. Okay, so again, this is 1, 1, 2, 3. Tension is very important. Okay, there we go. Now we'll go back. Make sure that if you have gaps, and you will make gaps, so make sure to cover, check both ends. So this is bothering me, right? And if you're the same, just take another piece of tape. Okay, then just kind of fold. There we go. Out of the way. So our last pass right here. Again, look at how I'm holding and making sure that it is as tight as possible. I am pushing on the vise here so that it counteracts my wraps. There we go. So at the very end, I'll do my whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Pull that tight. Okay. Your knife, move the thread. Boom. Don't move the knife. All right. So that's it. Now let's zoom out and see exactly what our work is, how it looks like, and everything. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna take the tape off. This is the Gamakatsu um, kamaitachi. Okay, or the scythe. Kamaitachi is scythe. It's the weapon of death. All right, so there we go. All right, now that looks clean, man. If I say so myself. Now take our we'll use this, okay, because we made it. So we take this and then either take a screwdriver or whatever. I have this hook right here. Okay, so what it is just to stretch things, yeah. So like this one, stretch it. This one, stretch it. Okay, and then just basically stretch both, and it sets things, you know. See, it's equal. That's the most important thing there. Okay, now you'll see that one is actually not super straight, and you go like this. Okay, then it should actually position itself. There you go. There, a little bit crooked, turn, pull. There. Okay, so pretty much in position. Now what I'll do is I'll actually bind this. Okay, I'll bind this a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go this side. Kind of dangerous with the monitor there. Okay, take this out. Boom, like that. All right, so I will wrap this a few times. The safest way here is to actually tie or loop it around your pinky, like so it doesn't mess up. Okay, wrap a few times. Not gonna be easy. All right, there. So as soon as it actually bites in, we can manipulate it. Then go like this. Okay, you can do again 3 passes, like what we did with the other one right there. Okay, okay, all the way to the knot, and then you can do your half hitches, or again in my case these are okay, whip knots. Not really a knot, they just call it a whip finish. There. Okay, tighten that, and then we can cut. All right, there's going to be like a, there we go. All right, so we have our front hook. Okay, just fix it a little bit so that it's there. Okay, boom, just like that. Right, now I'm gonna show you exactly how it looks like up front. I'm gonna attach it. Okay, these are split rings from Hot. Okay, and we're attaching our hooks here. Just like that. Now you put a swivel here or another set of or another a swivel or another uh, set of solid rings, but that's it. Sits well. Okay, like so. That's it. Should move well. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just gonna tighten this a little bit more. Wow, but that's sharp. Okay, that's it. All right, so that's pretty much what it is. And then let's take There we go. Okay. Now it's just a matter of putting the hooks. Now, I don't like how the paint here is actually sitting, so I'm just gonna clean a little bit of it off. All right. Here we go. Now, it's kind of weird that the swivel actually doesn't work as well here. Sorry, the split ring. Anyway, so put this on. There we have it. All right, so and then all we need to do is actually put either a swivel or a hold on. Okay, so right, all we have to do then is put a there, you can see it here, right? Just right. So ouch, all we have to do then is just put a swivel up here or a solid ring, and we have this thing going. But that looks good. I think I think I need to swap the split ring on this at the back, because the back, you know, the hole, or maybe I need to clean the hole up. You know, I'm not too happy. This is actually the first time that I am cleaning up a hook eye and on a Japanese jig, because most of the time they actually do this well. But as you can see here, the hole on this end right here isn't as nice. You know, it's also not bent right. So I'm just gonna, like, okay, correct that a little bit here. And then I'm gonna use a knife to kind of take off the excess paint, because there's quite a bit of paint in here. The paint that they're using is really good, man. It's not coming off. It's not coming off easy. Okay, so we're doing this so that we'll have like a lot of the paint out, and the split ring to be able to move. All right, so this split ring should be perfect for this. Okay. Yep. Yep. Perfect. That's it. This. So the front split ring is perfect, but the back one was not. So I changed the size of the split ring so that it's better. Okay, now let me prop you guys up better so you guys could see. Now, the only reason why I'm doing this also is because, you know, the editing software issue has been addressed. So it's actually pretty cool that I can film, you know, again with the editing software, because for the longest time I've been suffering from crashes every time I edit, and I think I've solved it now. So, uh, ouch. I can actually use DaVinci Resolve again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, boy. Okay, so, ouch. That is quite nice right there. All right, so Spin Rider, Nature Boys, Kamaitachi. These are size 6 for our deep water exploration. All right. So this part here, this end has fluorocarbon inserts. Here, there's none, and that's it right there. Okay. There we go. Our thumbnail. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. For the thumbnail, I think it's better if I did it like this. All right. There we go. It should focus. Wait. All right, so that's it for this video. Hopefully, you have been able to kind of tag along. I am very happy to have resolved the issue with the graphics card. For the time being, we're using an old graphics card that I have in an external GPU. Right, so my eGPU had a card that I wasn't using, and this is what I'm using now. Eventually, what we're gonna have to do is have the main card repaired, because that thing is like a very good card, and such a shame if we're not able to use it again. Alrighty, now if you have questions, drop them in the comment section. I know that this particular jig is actually quite famous, and a lot of people are using it. All right, especially in the States, where they kind of use like oversized equipment. But in the next one, what we're gonna do, because I have 2 of these, in the next one, what I'm gonna do is actually rig it with single hooks. Alrighty, so that's it for this video. Again, if you've learned something, okay, give it a thumbs up, please. That's a very, very big thing. For those guys that actually have learned something, or if you want your friends to learn with you, share this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you want to support what I'm doing, what this channel is doing, which is one subscriber, Robbo, actually said that this is fast becoming a hub for knowledge, for fishing knowledge here in YouTube. And you know, that's the sort of thing that I actually wanted to do when when I started this, it's an educational fishing channel, and it stays that way. Okay, so if you want to support what I do, support this channel, more than just liking, subscribing, and all that, click on the membership button. That really helps this channel move forward faster. Alrighty, and I know I've done this and I'm doing this every single video, but thank you very much to the members. Without you guys, honestly, so we're fast building a really good community. So thank you very much for your support. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.